Okay, great. We're planning to show first as a starting point I'm talking about why Swedes are so excellent, and I hope you're doing the same for the Finns. Is it so? Something like that, okay. I think that was the main idea. We try to spy the Swedish success and try to steal their main ingredients. I think one that has been striking me, even with the discussion that we discussed before this presentation, was that Swedes are always very trendy. So I think that's very deep down in the Swedish way of behaving and doing. I think Finns are in many cases pretty down to earth, and they are not maybe, or we are not paying enough attention to the details. So I think, and also the point that we are try to, at least in our mind, be very unique and personal. And in some cases, I think that leads to the fact that we are resisting trends. So it's I think whenever you have a new interest in trends, I see it very strongly in Sweden. But in Finland, it takes a while, which leads to certain type of untrendiness. Actually, these are both pretty trendy. Even the Mähönen underwear is pretty trendy from Finland. But I think I was working in fashion industry for a few years, and I think clearly there you can see that I think Finnish brands are pushing the sales very hard, but I think Swedes are creating the value and something interesting and striking for the consumers. Second thing was which I describe as democratic, and the point here is that in most cases if we are selling low-priced products, I think Finns are mainly pushing it with price. They're not paying too much attention on the channel and on the retail concept and things like that. Where I think Swedes are sort of selling good design for everybody. So it's in my mind, it's a part of the democratic approach that the Swedes have. Quite often when we start to talk about design in Finland, it becomes very niche, like exclusive and premium. So usually the design connection with products makes it expensive and maybe quite narrow. And I think these two companies, which probably all know, are very good examples of that. Artek and IKEA were founded pretty much at the same time with the same idea of delivering excellent design for everyday use, but the paths from there were quite different. I think, well, both have their very loyal customers, but I think the size and the desirability is quite different. Then I was thinking of say a few words about the global approach. I think that's also an attitude question. Are you Finnish when you go abroad? Are you Swedish when you go abroad? Or do you try to adapt to the local circumstances and local needs? Maybe it has to do with the history, but I've seen, for example, when I was working in Martela, there were very interesting Swedish brands like Offect, which was growing fast with a very strong Swedish brand, and they have a very global collection which they were selling everywhere. They were not customizing it too much. Where in Martela, where I was working at that stage, we had different collection in different countries, which I think it was slightly maybe makes it difficult to create a holistic, strong brand. I think these images, that's actually Vogue brand, which originally was Swedish, Malmö Strumpfabrik, but it's a part of Nacho Group's brand. But it's very, let's say, it's not Finnish. Well, everything doesn't have to be Finnish, but I think it still has a little bit sort of image challenge in the brand, where I think you have these classic brands that we don't mention too much. Then I think about one point is commercializing the brands. I think we discussed with Niklas there just a while ago about these interesting Finnish brands, like in clothing we have Makias and all those, but they are still relatively small. I think it's one of the challenges that get the brands grow. I think Finlayson is doing an excellent job at the moment. They are having really nice retail channels, and they are pushing the brand on a very nice direction. In Finland, we have a lot of this type of lifestyle companies, lifestyle design consultancy, which I think is nice. The values are great, but I think it's some cases it's hindering the commercial success. Yeah, these examples. So I think it's quite often we are pushing the products, product features, not so much the image. To be in short. You also mentioned the urban airs concept. That was, I think it was excellent, where we discussed, but despite the product category, I think the Swedes are able to create very interesting stories, interesting brands, and commercialize those. Then the last one, which of course all Finnish presentations end up with some alcohol, at least some events. When these companies were sold, I think Absolut Vodka was 10 times more valuable than Finlandia Vodka, which is a very classical brand with a very strong design flavor on it. So this was the part of the Finnish jury at this point.